honestly, don't feel. I don't think you will anyway, but don't feel afraid to say what you think. And there's no point. We've spoken about it quite a lot anyway. To be fair,
it's all out there.
Yeah, we're not saying anything.
To be fair, I don't think they're worth tuppence anymore.
No.
So it's just talking about the actual situation that they put us in. Yeah. Well, I've told myself that I won't do it until I won't use that language until such times as I can celebrate.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, completely. And
Okay.
Let's go down.
Right.
Go on.
And we just need to wait for Carl to not have a mouthful.
No, don't worry,
You're
I'm
fine.
fine.
You sound like Ozzy Osbourne from Bo Selector.
Since when have we ever done a podcast where one of us isn't eating as it's going?
This is Silly Point, an Inside Etown podcast.
Well, you used the J word, which is my next question, which was justice. Now, you sound like a cartoon supervillain or superhero when you say you want justice. But, like, assuming it doesn't involve a portable gallows and a restless lynch mob, what does justice look like for you and for Earlstown Cricket Club?
Well, a good question. I think.
Thank you.
I think had we had the right management structure in place over there, then we wouldn't be talking about this now. That club would be, well, you'd just driving past and you'd think, wow, that's a nice place. I mean, and when you drive past now, I think people say, well, you can see there's some effort going on there, like. But I think that we'd have the 4 sight screens and we'd have a couple of lanes like Newton. The nets different, you know. They've got like 3 nets, is it? 3 or 4 nets. They've got a pace wicket. They've got a spin wicket. They've got medium. They've got different, and it's all on there. Lancashire women use it, don't they? Ladies team or something.
They have done. I don't know whether that's a continuous thing, but they've definitely been there.
I don't know. Newton have actually got at least one Lancashire second team game there this season.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Those fixtures came out today, so.
Yeah. Well, when you get on Newton's pitch, bless them, and then you get on ours, their square isn't a patch on ours, and yet they've got all that fancy machinery. Wouldn't believe that, would you? But I mean, can you imagine? Well, not so much what the standard we get that to there, but it's just the volunteers would have a you know, be able to have a little party, wouldn't we? And say, hey, crikey, you know, we're not today. We're not going to be pulling a 2-ton roller back to the garage because it's broke down, like, you know,
again,
stuff like again. But again, because of my engineering background, because I used to work at Vickers over the bridge there, served my time there, so I've got a little bit of basic mechanical knowledge, which has helped in the past. I've been able to put things back together again, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Without going.
I blow them up, you put them back together.
Yeah, he blows them up, I put them back together. You know, which so it's
You must be like Will Derrick's guardian angel. The amount of equipment Will admits to break into.
It's getting better now. It's pure. It's law of averages for me. I was the one that was on most of the machines. It was going to be me that it broke down around. But yeah, Will Derrick is just. Apart from once, I hit a cricket ball, didn't I? In the long grass at the bottom, I ran over a cricket ball. I obviously didn't see it, and that knackered the outfield for quite a while, didn't it? So that was my fault. Even though I couldn't see it, I probably shouldn't have been cutting that bit of grass. But I think Will Derrick just seems like he's a destroyer of things. Like you watch him, you can sit here and watch him over there, and he grafts.
He's like you say, a cartoon villain, because what he'll do, he will like merrily jump on a machine and we'll be actually on the square doing different things, and then all you hear is crash, bang, boom, bang, crash, whack. And I think he never
looks up.
He never looks
like
up.
I
you know,
when I hit that thing and it made that cricket ball and it made a big noise, didn't it?
Yeah.
I immediately went, oh shit, I looked
Yeah,
over
what's
here,
happened?
knowing that people would be looking, going, well, what's he done over there? Whereas like Will Derrick just cracks on. His head doesn't go up. He just bang, bash,
I'm
crash.
I'm
Until it's starting to go on fire, it's only when he stops. That's the only way
I'm
that
surprised
he stops.
he hasn't gone on to, when we have these benches out around the side, that he hasn't gone, took the benches out.
He's like Herbert. He's like the
like,
Herbert
like a
bunch.
shredder, yeah.
Just jumps
Oh,
onto his invisible bike and
yeah.
keeps it going.
It's like a giant beaver. Knows everything up. But yeah, I mean, it's been a massive challenge, and it has been bigger than what I think a lot of people have expected.
So, sorry, go on, mate.
I was just going to say, even like you will often say, you mentioned before about you're late for everything, I was on the last minute. You'll say to me like, oh, we need to go on Thursday if you've got some time. It'll only take us an hour. Now that particular job, if it was cutting a wicket or scarifying or whatever, should only take an hour. But the machine won't start for 15 minutes because something's gone wrong with it. So then there's another 10 minutes of, I just need to tighten this and do that and spray this, and then you're away. So there's already half an hour of your hour that you've picked out of your day to try and get down here. Then it starts to rain, so you've got to stop doing it. So you come off, and then it won't start the second time when it stopped raining, and you think, well, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll do it.
And then you get
And then in the meantime, something else. Yeah, someone's at all the tonics. There's no coffee, which there isn't currently. So it's very draining in that respect, and because I can't repair anything, if I'm here on my own, it's then a conversation I have to have with my dad to say, the mount feel's not working again. Right, I'll be there, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll have a look at it. And that it might piss down that day and you can't do it. Or then something else. In the meantime, Dave Shearer said, the roller was making a funny noise when I put it away last night. And then so he's got another. So we're fighting fires constantly on jobs that, the likes of Newton, and they do a fabulous job at it. They're certainly a benchmark for us to try and move towards, but it doesn't have that problem. Their geezer turns up, opens his shutters, gets the machine he needs out, goes and does his job, puts the machine back, closes the shutters, goes and has a pint. We don't vary, and it's not an exaggeration to say, I would say 10% of our days across the year go to plan.
Yeah. But that's why we like it.
So I'm going to kind of like rephrase and reopen a question. I'll address this to Mr. Chairman, Mr. Treasurer. What's if we assume that the end game is justice? What is the end game? What are we?
Yes. Yeah.
What are we?
Sorry, I think I might have went.
No, it's fine.
Just tangent, yeah.
and I'm opening up this to both of you because as I said right at the start, you've both been in the trenches with this for 30 years.
Yeah.
What is the dream outcome? What is it that we're striving towards and we're hoping to achieve?
Well, it's because of these issues that we were talking about with machinery and finances that we often say that fucking Viaduct committee, because obviously they refuse point blank. Bob Williams actually said in the last meeting, the last money they got through their account was through John Allan, and I got him $5,000 for a gardening project over there. Small grants like that, and this one was quite. It took me 6 months to get statements and insurance stuff off them and stuff like that. So they tried to leg me up at every which way, but there's a $2,500 to clear the land and $2,500 for a guy to come in and put all the benches on. It was a nice garden project with benches and wooden arches and all this sort. They could go and sit there and just, like it used to be all them years ago, but on a smaller scale. And Bob Williams said, and I don't know why I admitted that in that meeting. I don't know why he actually said it, because it didn't mean much to me. Only, what was he trying to do? Was he trying to take the piss out of me? I don't know, so I just let it go in my head. But basically, what I want is, and it's justice for sport, not just for the cricket section. I want them to actually go out and get the funding that they need to do all these projects. all the projects I was telling you about, like all the corners, and especially over there where it looks, it's derelict over there now. And we get cross-contamination on here through the weeds and all the shit that's growing over there. So all these big patches of weeds that you see on the outfield and stuff like that, that's blown and brought over from that shit over there onto there.
Rumour has it that when a certain someone's batting, the weeds have made their way onto the batting surface.
Well, we're actually constantly, without using chemicals. I don't like using chemicals, but if that's the case going forward, but then they're not cheap, they're expensive, and then you have to have applicators to put down. You have to have certificates and that to store them. And
You get it wrong with them, and you
screw
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
way.
you've
for a
got
long
to
time,
know what you're doing. It's no use going on Google.
nothing will grow. If you get it wrong,
You know,
nothing will grow.
Nothing will grow, and that's what happened. Lancashire bowling team used to bring the flat green team and the crown green team to play here. This was the home game, home pitch. Because they knackered the corner one up, which was, I think, was the crown. They moved somewhere else. They lost them years ago. They lost them about 20 years ago, I think, maybe more now. And that's what happens because they wanted a certain fertiliser. You need such and such, and I think they tried cut corners, and they burnt the lot. That was
Again, the names we're not supposed to
we're
talk
not,
about.
not supposed to talk about names.
Justice for me, in a nutshell, is to be able to take ownership properly and put a plan in place, a long-term plan in place to not only make us sustainable, but to facilitate the improvement that we're all so desperate for. And that would be to ultimately be masters of our own destiny in terms of ownership, because then if we had that security, if we failed, it would be our fault, but we know that we wouldn't because we're set up well with a good strong committee. We've talked about the numbers that we've got in terms of membership and the teams and all that comes with that. We just need to be able to apply to these funding pots. You know, you see Sutton popping up with this, and Rainhill have said, oh, they got this amount of money from Sport England or whatever else it might be. ECB supported a girls' team and gave them this. We can't get any of that because they won't apply, as my dad said in his chairman tenure across there. They're just not for thinking forward like that. We don't know the ultimately we don't know the reasons why. We can all surmise why they're not the right people to move the club forward. They're not interested, but we are. And I think that justice for us, for me, my point of view, and I think we're on the same page, is that we could do those things ourselves, that we would have the security of tenure that we're so desperate for to be able to apply for the big pots that are out there. You don't get all of them, but
No, I mean, if the pitch became available for sale, then we'd do our utmost through various. There's lots of places like the community asset fund, etc. But we think the one that we're looking at, we've put in for and been approved for, means everything. It means the old bowling greens before they get built on. The club.
We've applied for
This.
community asset, this to become a community asset, which means there's an element of protection to it. It's deemed like it's worthy of remaining in the community's hands as much as anything. So if the business side went bust, it wouldn't automatically be taken over by Barrett's. Do Barrett's still make houses? Or is that just
I don't
all
know.
Fills?
Helicopters, isn't it?
Helicopters,
I think they make helicopters.
But what it means is
Barrett's.
we've applied for that and it's
Totally.
been accepted. But what also means is that we get first refusal. So if somebody come along from Bridgeford's, or I should say Fraser Reeves, and hit a for sale sign in the lot, we would get the opportunity to raise the money. I think you get, somebody said a reasonable amount of time is the time scale of it, whether that's 6 months or more, I don't know. But that would be, they don't want to see it go, so it's been granted that. So that, but that is everything. That's if they close the gates. we then get the opportunity to say, well, okay, market value is $500,000, whatever it might be. We get a certain amount of time to try and get that investment. Support England, you know, other facets of the ECB might get involved. St Helens Council might want some sort of situation where they say, well, yeah, okay, we'll match fund 25 of it if you've got 25 from a local developer or whatever, and it just builds up that way. And then we'd be custodians of it all then.
Is it, to all intents and purposes, basically making it the area like a listed building?
Pretty much, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. I don't know the stipulation exactly. We are going to make some contact with that. Will Derrick has been the one that's been the go-between between the council and us as a group. We filled the forms out together, but he's been the one that's had a bit of dialogue. But it's still not clear exactly how that would transpire. But yeah,
they've not had the chance to speak yet. Will's still speaking.
Probably. It's probably why they only email him. But yeah, that's for me.
The profligacy that's rife. I mean, you can't communicate with them. It's an impossible task to communicate. Now, I'll give you an example. We've got several trees. Now, the trees on this land are all listed, and we can't touch them. If we think that one's dying, we can ask them to get a surgeon to come, a tree surgeon to come and have a look and give you a report, and then recommend, well, we'll take them 2 branches off or do it, or it wants cutting down. Now, I've wrote several letters to the committee, and Bob Williams is gone now, but and just the only reply I got from Bob Williams was to ask me which tree you're talking about. Now, there's a dead one here on the corner. As you come in the gate, you see the big one that's going to fall over. There's one that's falling through the fence behind the pavilion here. It's falling through the fence. It's going to go over the road and kill somebody. It's going to fall and kill somebody. It's falling. It's pushing the fence out now. The one that's next to us here, they're bigger, and it's splitting at the back. It's already fell on, one of the branches fell on this roof how many years ago when Todd was upstairs, up on the roof cleaning. We see a branch over there that's fell off, hanging on. We said we're not going to touch that because we just want them to do something about it. Carl had just gone past on the Mount field, literally 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and the branch came down. When we reported it to them, they said, well, when we looked on the camera, we watched it on the camera, the person who was cutting had gone past. It didn't fall anywhere near him. So they could see it's on the camera. But they won't do anything about it. Now, I think, personally, and I'm not a tree surgeon by any stretch of the imagination, we're not going to put those benches back where they were until these 2 trees are either gone or lopped or whatever. Because
that dangerous.
Because they're going to, the big branches, the weight in them branches is going to come down, and it's the canopy that will kill about 5 or 6 people who sat on that bench. It'll kill them. So that's another problem we have that we've got to get round before we start the season.
Well, I was talking about a portable gallows. I think we've got a tree handy if that helps.
Well, yeah. But whatever we do going forward, I'll make sure that we I don't know, get the hand roller and hang it overnight over on one of the branches that look like they're going to come down, and hopefully by morning it'll be down. We're trying to get somebody with a chainsaw to get up there and do a bit of...
Right, we've been accused on this podcast of selling out, and I'd just like to assure you all, listeners, viewers, contributors, that we have not sold out. But what we do now normally is, at this time on the podcast, we have a Pimlets pie. And this episode of Silly Point is in association with Pimlets, and we thank them very much for their sponsorship and for being a well-known brand in the local area for many years. Stuff like this it's really important conversation to have this, because people don't think about things like that. They just, and this is our own players as well, they just turn up, play the cricket and go home.
Yes.
They don't think about the fact that we've got 150 odd year old trees.
I feel responsible, and we feel responsible as a committee for our playing staff, and anybody that walks through that gate because we want people to come in, and they do, to have a coffee or a drink of pop or water, whatever, and watch a bit of cricket.
Or some fudge.
We've and have some fudge. We've had more people in the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, walk in through the gate, because obviously you've got the new estate here now, and some people that we don't recognise, they come and say, can I have a coffee, and they sit down and watch the cricket. I won't mention the beer that they drink, but it's
not for sale, so...
Yeah, well, it's not for sale, it's just, you know, we offer this facility, like, you know, just to get people interested. And if anything, going forward, our ties with the community have never been stronger. The community love this, what we're doing, and people are starting to come and watch cricket and take part, get involved.
Well, this part of it is friendly. You know, I mean,
Well,
people come in and they
this
enjoy
is
it,
what
don't
we
they?
try to do. We try to make it a family club.
Yeah.
And we, you know, everybody gets a chance, as you know. Everybody gets a chance, and we try to help people in any way. You know, even by the coaching, supplying them with second-hand kit if they want a game of cricket on a Saturday. Or now that we join the Sunday league, you'll get more people wanting to play cricket. I'm sure you will. At that standard, you know what I mean. So it's good.
Well, when I first come over here, I had all Ollie's gear. I don't know if we mentioned the Aussies getting knocked out of the cricket.
Oh, God. You're out.
Anyone
Jeez.
checked
It's
in
not
on-
meant,
has
he's
anyone
not mentioned
checked in
anything
on
in the
him?
group,
That's
has
that's
he?
terrible.
Very quiet, hasn't he, Ollie? Yeah.
Bless him.
I'm going to try and get him on, but that's another story.
It seems like, for me, now it's been 30 years, it's hard to kind of get your head around the fact that even after 30 plus years, it doesn't feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel other than
Disentanglement.
the viaduct going one way and us going the other, which seems...
Yeah.
You know, I watched that video you put up, Carl, especially after AD was talking about why he started it, and you can just see everyone getting involved together, people milling from there, people coming
Well,
to...
there were fish in the ponds and all sorts. They had the full-time ground staff from the British Railways over the road, working 7 days a week virtually, and growing where we are now used to be cloches. And they used to grow all their own plants and stuff, and the place looked absolutely beautiful. The path,
Stunning.
and the statues, and those benches we've got, they used to be all the way around the pitch and around the bowling green. But somebody commented on that and said, you know, who owns the Viaduct Club now? So people don't know. People don't know that it's the trustees hold it in trust for the members. So it's the trustees that should be saying to the committee, place is looking a bit rough. Why don't you cut some
shouldn't be
grass?
resorting to sell off
Exactly.
that beautiful. Yes,
Exactly.
it's not now, but
It was.
they've got it to this point.
Yeah, but it wouldn't take us a great lot to get it back to how it was.
Yeah, exactly.
You look at what this club's achieved with volunteers,
And with no money.
with no money and with donations and things like that, and then you think rather than doing that themselves, we'll just sell it off, and it's absolute
We've had Lancashire, the blind school playing, not the blind team, or partially sighted and all the rest of it, and there was it the Niners?
Super Nines.
Super Nines.
Called.
One bloke came. Well, all the families came, and they all sat out there watching the kids playing cricket, Lancashire, and. This guy come to me and he said, who does the pitch like? I said, I said, there's about 3 or 4 of us, 5 of us that get stuck in. He said, my dad does it. I can't remember the name of the club in Manchester. And he said, can I have a coffee? 2 coffees in a pot. I said, yeah, of course you can. So I gave him 2 coffees in a pot, and off he went. And when he brought the cups back, I had the pictures on here of the old, and I was talking to him, and he said, can I have your bank details? I said, no, my personal. No, I said, and he gave us a cheque for 1,000. Well, he sent £1,500 just by talking to him, just you know, and the place. It's so when we're here working on that pitch, even those 2 main roads go, it's so peaceful and tranquil, and it's a great place to sit there. And Alan Nurse used to say, "This is our back garden, isn't it?"
Do you think that, okay, just to try and wrap her up, do you think, it's probably a hard question for you folks to ask, but with your goals and your aims and your justice, you're not looking at another 30 year struggle, are you? You're hopeful. You can't distinguish it, but you are hopeful.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's look at it this way.
You've not got another 30 years.
I haven't got another. No, that's true. and they haven't either. They might have 3. I might have 3. But basically, there's more of them than there is of me. Yeah. As long as we keep the volunteers coming through, and keep the youth on our side, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And this is why I wanted to tell the story about this fantastic old club that should be on everybody's mind, on everybody's agenda, really. And the only way forward is to seek these pots of money that's out there to spend on the ground, not to give for new bikes and stuff for kids.
I'm up to 6 now, Carl.
How many,
6 bleeps I'm going to have to put in there and edit.
how many times I've seen kind of...
Like an episode of the Osbournes.
Well,
I'm just thinking that Chris is going to have his work cut out doing it.
At the end of the day, we've got this entrenched committee. I think it's a cracking word for the fact that they're unmovable. They're entrenched. They don't want to move. They don't want to do anything, especially if we're involved. They don't want to know. So that has got to change. Now, and the only way we can change it is by getting our story, like we've been talking about tonight, out there and on the website, on Facebook, as much as we can, and keep the podcast going, and let everybody see what's going on. People don't know what's going on. That's why they're having such a great time over here.
Yeah.
They hate the social media side and the amount of times that they've threatened me with, don't do this, don't do that. And I know that you, Dan, is quite be careful what you say, be careful what you know. Will Derrick's the same. Will Derrick said you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. But what choice have we got? How are we going to tell people what is exactly going on? But they only hate it because we are letting people know what's going on.
They don't want people to know.
Yeah, because one of them threatened me with, his legal mates if I mentioned him, mention him again on there. But I wasn't worried about that, and he got mentioned like the day after, I think. But what's your legal friends going to do? Show him what I've put. It's nothing wasn't the truth, and nothing was particularly cutting either. It was only that those people reading it can put 2 and 2 together and know what's going on and go, that's what's happening.
That's not illegal. That's
exactly. So,
yes,
and I'm not
stupid.
Story, I'm not got no legal background, but I'm not stupid either. And I think it's pressure that we've put on them, which does fan the flames of their hatred towards us. But we're not necessarily interested in that part. We just want people to know, like the response when Fraser Reeves posted the land for sale on their listings.
I can't believe they included the club on that as well.
People went crazy over it. The amount of messages we got a certain councillor was abused over it, saying, and he was probably wrongly abused at that point, but that's the the emotion in the local people to what the ones that sort of know where we're at. It's heartwarming, and I think you'll be the same on those mornings when the machines doesn't work and you feel like, what's the point? It's because of that and that support. Then sometimes something might pop up or you'll get a comment made and then you're reminded why you are put in that situation. You can't find the right screwdriver for this, and you're adamant that there was a saw over there, but someone's moved it, and next thing there's a kind of WD-40 thrown across the outfield, and then somebody says, "Did you see what he said about us?" And it's like, that's why we keep going, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
And then Will drives over the kind of WD-40.
Yeah.
While Judy's moving the table out the way with
absolutely.
I'll tell you. So, me, no legal experience at all, but having legal people in the family, you've got to look at perception is the greatest thing for people to see. And from a legal point of view, you've got to look at it as, has anything we have said or has been said in this podcast libelous? Absolutely not. Has everything we've said just a statement of fact of what's going on.
Legally, it would be classified as fair comments
Exactly.
or just comments.
Exactly, and the fact is, Carl came up with the idea of this podcast, we put it all together, and the whole point of this podcast is to give people a better knowledge of what this club is and who we are. Inside Etown, inside and out. The inside of it. The outside people see is of a Saturday during the season, there are 22 men on that pitch, 22 people on the pitch, 11 of them represent Etown. 3 of them know what to do in fields and wise. I'm not going to say anything about the other 8, which probably includes me in that one as well. And again, probably just calling about the 2s. But from the inside point of view, I don't think anyone would have had a clue. I certainly didn't have a clue. This has been going on for 30 years. My assumption on was it's been 10 or so. I certainly didn't have a clue. You've got a social club over there that was basically cheapskating and only wants to do six events and parties a year. You know, my old club, which I haven't got a lot of good things to say about them because of my personal situation with them. But whenever I played at home, every other Saturday, their function room was full. And they had parties going on while the cricket was playing.
And clean.
And, you know, it was... Every section was getting a cut of the money. They've got the bowling section as well. Everything came in. Because at the end of the day, I'll be honest, it was similar in that club, the way that the people who ran their business side of it. It's not that they didn't get on with the cricket side, but it was like they didn't know much about it. They didn't really see the point in it. But they had the oversight to say, when the cricket's on, that's going to bring us some money in.
Absolutely.
And with having the outside patio at my old club as well, of a Saturday in the middle of the summer, if it wasn't full of the cricketers and the people come to watch on one side, the other half would be full with the locals, or they'd have people in the function room, wouldn't be in the function room, they'd be out. The adults would be getting tanked up on pop, let's put it that way, for legal reasons, which they could sell, by the way, because of everything, while the kids were running around the big bit of extra green space playing football, while the cricketers are playing cricket.
And that's because the club is run by business people.
Exactly.
We even asked the committee to buy us the beer, and we would buy it off them. Get extra beer in, and we'd buy it off them.
And just give it away.
Give it away.
No.
And they said no. They just don't want to help.
They wanted us to fail. It's not that they're not
exactly.
They wanted us to fail.
Looking at the state of the club now,
it's disaster capitalism as well. That to me feels like I don't know anyone in that club, and I never will. This is my club. I see that club, and I think that is someone who has decided to steer the plane into the mountain and hope that they are still in charge when the wreckage comes to a halt.
I've seen.
That's how I look. Look at it.
Good analogy.
I've seen this. There's. I don't know if anyone ever played, but in Liverpool, in one of the nice areas of South Liverpool, there used to be Man Web Social and Sports Club, and it used to be a massive social club. Used to have football during the winter and cricket during the summer. And what they did pretty much the same. The people running, everyone was running different parts of it. And to cut a long story short, it was decided to close everything down and leave it. And then they were advised by the council, leave it, let the ground get overrun, so then it becomes brown land. And then once it's become brown land and left for 5 or 10 years, it can be then sold for anything. So any covenants aren't dealt with because it's been basically left to rot.
Perversely, it's like an investment.
Yeah.
Perversely.
And I'm assuming that's what they were hoping would happen here.
That's how they've been advised.
Yeah.
They've been advised, and they took it to the letter, and that's straight down the line. They've not budged 1 inch over 3 decades.
And I like to think, because yes, they dislike us, but I'm not saying that they're frightened, the physical fear of us. I think if they'd know how strong we are. They certainly know that I'm going to keep coming back at them and keep coming back at them. And I think they've kind of given up that way. Like you hear some clubs who aren't as strong as a committee or got strong people within there to fight this would have given up ages ago. And they potentially would have made it so when you're off, you're gone. And then they allow that 5-year neglect to happen, and then the like you say, like an investment almost.
This is
getting rid of a team.
This is another reason why I think the chairman's gone, because he knows there's no the end of it.
We're in the end game now.
Yeah,
We definitely
very much
are.
so.
We
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like you said, another 30 years. We've got the fight for it. I've got more age on my side than my dad, obviously.
I want to
the way
see
it
it in
goes.
30 years, so I'm going to practice.
Hey Jerry, have you dyed your hair or have you gone prematurely maroon?
You get electric ones now, don't you?
So, but yeah, the fight won't go out of us. Whatever the next few weeks and months bring, we just adapt accordingly and just keep scrapping. But on the side of it, just the inside Etown bit, everything keeps going out there.
Yeah.
And those that don't want to know anything about this or aren't really that bothered in terms of our boys, doesn't really matter. Because you said it yourself, you used to be a cricketer that would come with your bag, pay your subs, play your game, not interested in what went on really out there, who was there Monday to Friday. I was the same for many years until we had no choice but to get my dad on the phone and think, you know, Horse has left us in the lurch here, we need some help. And it's kind of, that's where we've gone. So it doesn't matter what level you are or how much you care, the club will still continue with you in that role. And it's, yes, we always need an extra pair of hands on the ground. Yeah, we'll always need that 11th man or somebody to play midweek or somebody to umpire. They're the normal
Cricketing
cricket
problems.
which almost become a nice relief to stress about. You know, it'll be Jordan maybe texting me saying, Eddie Platt can't play. He's found 600 cats in his back bedroom. He needs to deal with it. That's a problem that you feel like, I'm happy about that.
That's an easy problem to
Yeah.
fix when you know what's going on
And
elsewhere.
those will
it's an
keep
easy
going
problem.
and keep going, and it'll still be the same sort of, not that it's an exclusive club, because you're obviously getting more involved now with this Viaduct situation. It's not a closed shop that way at all, but we will continue with that until we get
Well, it's been frustrating for us as a committee, and like Carl said, having this passion for the cricket and knowing what's going on with the Viaduct Club. But it's that the story that we're talking about now. It's been wanting to happen, for a long time. It's all well overdue, this little discussion, and just to get as many people to realise what's happening, the better.
Eddie will be doing that.
Yeah.
To be too busy, never mind cats Eddie
Yeah,
anymore.
well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about Eddie. as
coming
long
on,
as he
coming on.
Yeah, he gets a few runs, I don't give a shit. So yeah, well, I mean, we're talking about 30 years, I won't be here, so what I've done already, I'm going to put my flat into the kitty. But the thing is, it's owned by Regenera, and I don't think they'll...
If we kind of just bring
so
this
we
to...
can get a new roller at the time.
If we can kind of just bring this to a close now, like I think last question, unless anyone's got anything that they want to finish on. Last question from me: what are your hopes outside of disentanglement from the social club? What are your hopes for the upcoming season, transitional season? We had a great season last season as a club, 1s and 2s. This year we've got a Sunday team as well. Hopefully we'll have a chance to defend this lovely trophy, which I've not touched yet today. That's remedied.
You put it there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Actually, you're right, I did. Yeah, never mind. What do you want to see, Mr. Chairman, from 2026 on the field for Earlstown?
Well, I just think, I mean, last season the second team were amazing. Second in the league, won the trophy. Yes, we're bringing players on, and our Cockney Stewart is a testament to that. I don't see us having a bad season. I think we've got that much support now, playing wise. I just think it's onwards and upwards. I feel very positive about the playing situation.
Brilliant. Mr. Treasurer, have you got anything you want to add, or is that a good place to call it a
Good place.
midnight?
Yeah, good place to call it, I think. Yeah, like you said, just onwards and upwards.
Thank you. And if anyone listening wants to kind of contribute to the club, the kind of financial upkeep of the mowers, which Will Derrick always breaks, or pay for loom. I said loom.
Edit that bit out.
You leave Eddie and his cats alone.
WD-40, you know.
Yeah, well, it looks like I'm amassing 50p fines already, and it's not even training. If you want to get involved and donate to the club, reach out to us on social media. Carlos here will pick it up, and anything is gratefully received. Spread the word about Earlstown. It really does help us. And I think with that, it's tomorrow. So let's call it a night there. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen.
you
That's
very
very
much,
interesting.
Nice one, boys.